Yo guys, Foxy, hope everyone's doing great tonight. Today we're back for a new video quite special. Today we're gonna be discovering the pro player Hen and his life in this interview with his mom. Gonna be talking about how did it start, his parents' reaction, his singing career, and some advice for young people who want to talk about it to their parents. Now, if you're ready, let's go. The first question I have for you is, were you interested in what your son was doing before he became really famous and before he performed really well at the game?
Only when he started playing Fortnite. That's the only time when I started to be interested. Not before, not the CSGO or other esports games that he did, just because I feel like Fortnite, it was the only game where he actually dedicated more time than other games. And eventually he was just playing longer hours, started to show lots of interest in it. And yeah, I felt like I needed to know more about the game and what his interest is in the game. Just because I didn't want him to sit hours and hours at the computer without us knowing what is he doing there. He was like, what is this game about? Are you good at it? And he was getting excited. And then the World Cup as well started. And he was like, excuses not to go, let's say, to football practice or something because he had a competition online. So it was like, what is this competition? What is it all about? So because he was canceling some other things because of Fortnite, he needed to know more about it. He actually did lots of activities after school at school with his friends. So when he would come home and weather is not perfect, it will be, let's say, raining all the time and things like this. So he would be in his room on a computer after he's done, let's say, his homework, and I would hear him talking to friends. But lots of his friends from school were playing the game at the same time, so he would play with his classmates. All his classmates already were playing Fortnite, and he was playing CSGO.
How did you react when he learned you like I won my first earnings?
I think the shock was first, it's not his earnings, but it was him telling us that he's joining orgs. I think first org was free, he didn't get paid, but then he came and he said, I spoke with Become Legend and they want me to join them as an academy player and everything. We're like, who's Become Legends? What's happening? It was completely new to us and we didn't even know the orgs exist. That was his first earnings, I think, is joining the org.
When did you realize it is really starting to become something really serious for him?
When he was going to school, it was like a private school. We were talking to a teacher who was like traveling a lot to Asia. He would talk to Henrik and he would always express himself how gaming is a big part of his life. And this teacher was like talking to us and sort of saying how big it is in Asia and how it's developed and there is lots of orgs and profession investing lots of time into gaming. And we were like, wow, that's really good. And we said we would like Henrik to continue doing because he is in the org and he's getting paid and he's sort of trying to take it to the next levels. And they were like, it's fine, he can skip like morning classes if he had a competition before that and come a little bit later at school. Or if we would like he had to travel to lands or boot camp somewhere, for example, then they would ignore the fact that he missed school as well. When you're 13 and 14, your understanding of social media is different than when you, let's say, 17. You grow as a person whilst the game is growing, and clearly when you're in the org, you learn how you meant to be professional and how you meant to behave. The org is investing in you, but you have to invest in yourself to be your best so that the sponsors will want you to stay in that org and will support the org with financially. So it's lots to do how you behave on social media with how the org and the sponsors look at you, not how well, let's say, you place in a competitions. It is a big factor, but the biggest factor is how you behave on social media and how you, let's say, represent yourself within the org.
Did you ever try to share his passion with him?
Only from watching competitions and streams. When if he streams, we would watch sometimes him gaming when we have time and playing game. Not because I didn't like it; it's just I didn't have time, to be honest. Playing games was like not for me at the time, and I find that there is too many buttons to press at the same time. The game is too quick. So, yeah, I would stick to something else rather than playing Fortnite.
Out of the esport, I saw Hen loves singing. So I have two questions for you about it. Did you know he
Hmm.
sings that good after the first clip which was
Yes,
published on socials?
yes.
Yeah.
He had a scholarship at school for
Oh.
music and drama, so nobody knew that side of him. But I knew that side. We knew that side. He always singing. Even in the evenings, he would just come and put karaoke on TV, and he sings for hours for us. His grandmother is the same. She's 83, and she still sings in music.
Oh, that's actually good. Um,
Yeah.
I saw he released a real song on September the 14th, I guess. How would you react if tomorrow he hands you that he wants to create a full album?
Well, we're working together with him. Then he wants to, because I'm really, really appreciative of arts and music, and I enjoy that side of his life. We're working together with Hen and the music writer, so he's gonna be producing the song soon with him in November. Unfortunately, we took a little bit time in October, but the song will come soon, and he will be writing second song as well in November.
And what would you be your opinion if he tells you like he wants to start Fortnite just to make singing his profession in the real life?
We talked about it not long ago, and I said if you feel like e-gaming is becoming, when you game and you compete, the potential is there and keeps you occupied. But if you feel like it's not enough for you to grow as a person, maybe you need to look into doing something else. So lots of plans, lots of ideas for the future. So if he says, I don't want to play Fortnite anymore, I would be okay with it. It would be sad, but I would be okay with it.
Let's finish with a last question, Hi, for you. You might know for a lot of young people it can be hard to speak about gaming with their parents. So what kind of
Yeah.
advice can you give to young viewers who would like to talk about Fortnite, about esports to their parents but don't know how?
It's such a difficult question just because we are all different. Every parent is different. If the child finds a way to sit down with the parents and not just talk about specific game maybe to start with, but just to say how esports are expanding within the schools as well. The people are starting to introduce degrees in universities for the esports, not just let's say social media, where it was very limited, but it's like esports as let's say would be banking or something else. So that's a big step for the parents to open their eyes. There is something to look forward in the future. So it's not just gaming where you sit and you play games, but you actually learn lots of other things as well. Maybe to, if the parents are completely don't want to hear anything about this or whatever, introduce websites like Hope, where they have lots of information on it, and it's based on experiences in esports and how parents understand esports and how many, let's say, schools and universities work together with esports. So it's not just gaming and being lazy as they think. I think the best thing is just take your time, don't go full in, explain to them slowly.
I don't have a question anymore.
Hmm?
Thanks for your answer. If you have
Welcome.
anything else to say to the person who would watch this, I'll let you if you have anything to say, anything to add about you, about Hen, about the parents in the esport, because that's the biggest subject. If you have anything.
I think I covered everything that I wanted to say. Most important is like I feel like people need to learn to be more professional on social media and in game and be supportive rather than maybe not toxic. Toxic is the wrong word. We all get upset and we all say things sometimes we don't mean it. That casual players will be watching this video or listening to it. It's like you're talking about a person, pro player or not pro player. They still have feelings. They're not made of stone, and just like everyone needs to be respectful. That's the only thing I want to say. Just
Yeah.
to be respectful of everyone and understand that, you might not like this person. You don't need to always say it into their face, into their chat, come into their chats and just constantly say negative step, because eventually this person would be like, why do I do this? So that would be my
Your
my
point.
ideal situation in this community where everyone is supporting each other.
Oh,
So mental health,
yeah.
supportive friends, communities, be respectful of everyone.
So I thank you a lot for according
You're
me this
welcome.
time. So it took a bit more than what was planified.